When I was in the Navy, and if y'all hear like sound in the back, I'm sorry. My niece is watching Family Matters. She loves Steve Urkel. But when I was in the Navy, there was a chief that told me people join the military for three or four things. One is to serve their country. One is to find a job because there are no jobs in the real world, or they couldn't find a job in the real world. So usually the military is the last resort, which, by the way, that was my reason. Three, family tradition. You know, you have your family people. Your grandfather was in the Navy. Your father's father was in the military. It's like, so you probably grew up in a military family, so you probably try to follow that tradition. And the fourth one, and especially this goes especially for like people who join the army and or Marines. You want to kill someone legally. So what does that story mean? I feel like most of those reasons are the same reason people join the police force. You know, especially like if your father was a cop and all that other stuff. I can see you doing that. You not having a job, nah, not so much because I don't people say police would be my last resort. Usually you have a desire to want to be a cop, not like I'm gonna be a cop because it's the last thing to do. But I do feel like, and this is important, that some of those people do join the police force to want to kill someone legally. Like they like live and thrive to be in shootouts with gang members, and like they're not, like I may not be a cop, but you know they're the ones where I always see is like where the action at, and you see it all the time. Where the action at? Where the action? And you tell, and people have to tell them, oh, this ain't about like being in shootouts and all that other stuff. It's about keeping the block safe or keeping your neighborhood safe. They look at you to keep the neighborhood safe, but you can also see that people wants to like be that superhero badass, and then which is weird because cop shows are not even like that. Even in like shows like Law and Order, it's like it's not even about the cop. Like there's a lot of detective work, and thank God for shows like The Wire, because The Wire show kind of shows you what real police work is like. But it's not all fun and games. I mean, sometimes it's boring. Sometimes you're just walking. Sometimes you're just walking a beat path and all that stuff, making sure nothing pops off. And then when nothing pop off, you kind of like bored. It was the same way when I was in the Navy and when I was in the security. Now I didn't join to murder people, but when I did security, like they trained you, you know, to shoot. They train you with like some of these high caliber weapons, like an M16, an M4. I had qualified in those. I was shot the M16s and the M4s and the shotguns and the M9 Beretta. That's what the Navy used, especially in security. Um, but even when I was in security and I qualified as guns, I never had the intent to like want to kill somebody. It was like, oh, I can't wait to like put this shit to action and all that other stuff. I actually hated security. Tell you the truth. Now, the people in security was cool, but the fact that I had to do it, I didn't like it. But that's just me. There's a lot of and standing in one spot for like 4 hours at a time, and sometimes, and a lot of times, majority of the times, is boring. And I know a couple of people that was army. Like you train to kill, you're trained to be a killer and all that other stuff. But at the same time, when you're like out there, sometimes, a lot of times, you're just out there and nothing happens, and you're bored. And when you're bored, what do? Most of them go train to shoot. A lot of people probably have some extracurricular activities, but a lot of them they train to shoot. You know, to keep your skills up type. So I think a lot of these people, especially if you're like going in the military with the urge to want to kill somebody, you have all this built up rage and urge to kill, and you don't kill nobody. So it's just like I feel like when the time finally comes, they really jump at the excitement without no thoughts. And I think that's what happened with Tatiana Jefferson. I believe that's her last name. I'm gonna call it Tay, because all her friends call her Tay. There is no reason instead of knocking on the door. I can understand like you, and I can understand you going around seeing it. But if the woman is sitting down playing video games with her nephew, and then you see the cops going around, of course she's going to look like, what the hell is going on? But you shoot her within 3 seconds. What is what was your mindset? Was you coming to see if everything was okay, or you was trying to catch a burglar, or you like trying to shoot somebody? I think his intent was being intent to kill. And where's this leading? I feel like, and a lot of people, I think a lot of people in the police force would not like it. I feel like everyone should go through like a therapy session, like some type of. Will it help? I don't know. It might help. Maybe you'll weed out which ones is like the real crazy ones, which one really has that intent to kill and all that other stuff. And but at the same time, because I know police work is dangerous, but at the same time, you signed up for it. Just like I knew that military work is dangerous. I knew whatever I did, I could not come back to America. But I knew the consequences. I signed up anyway. I put my right hand up, signed up, said the oath. I knew what I was getting into. So at the same time, it was like it's no excuse. I think that cop should be on trial for murder. I know they found him guilty, which is good, but at the same time, are there others like him on that force? We just got off the Amber Geiger situation, then we got this shit in Texas too. So with that being said, I don't know. I'm not saying this will solve anything, but I feel like this could be a start. What we need to start evaluating all the cops from top to bottom. See how they feel. See like how their motives is and all that other stuff. Like I think everyone should have a therapy session. Ask them how do you feel when you're on that beaten path. It's like, are you looking for action or do you just looking to protect, or are you like some cops? It's like you hope nothing really pops off, and you're like you could just go home to your wife, or are you like most people? Just like you just want some action to happen, just for the excitement in your life. Because I feel like the people that want to just go home, they're usually ones that are more calmer. They're not gonna like throw their pistols out. They're just like, just calm. They'll tell you just calm down and all the others. They'll try to calm down the situation so it won't escalate. But I feel like there are people who just want to be in the action and just jump in, and you got things like the Amber Geiger situation in Tatiana. Now the neighbor that called in non-emergency that just wanted to check on her. I don't blame her, because a lot of people are gonna be like, you know, mind your business. If that's your neighborhood and you want to keep that neighborhood safe, yeah, you're gonna be you might call the authorities. You got to realize that a lot of black people got to realize this, like white people are not like us. They don't we don't the white people do not mind their business. Black people we will mind their business. Like if we'll see an open door and it's kind of suspicious, we'll probably lock our fucking door and then come back later, and then that house is robbed, and then you're like, what? You know, I saw it earlier, and he's like, why didn't you say nothing? Look, I didn't know. And black white people, they're like, if something has moved an inch, they're on alert. They're calling the cops. You know, white women's favorite number is 911. In my opinion, I'm not trying to blame this on white women and all that other stuff, but you get my point. Anytime when they feel unsafe, they do call the authorities because the authorities do come for them. I feel sorry for the woman and her family, especially like we got another unarmed black person, and then people, the whole say her name so you won't forget. I I don't know. I just hope she got some right people, because the last person was like, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get 20. Because if he gets less than 20, then yeah, there's going we going people are going to have some talks about some shit. But he's Yeah, he's going to be the one to bite the bullet because I know they do not want another Amber Gaga situation. So he's definitely going to bite that bullet. What? But what do y'all think? What are y'all agreeing with me that I feel like every cop, and I mean when I mean every cop, every fucking cop, and I know there's a lot, and that probably costs a lot of money, but we need to start evaluating people and what and really, really getting down to why is most of this is happening. Because this is, I don't care if this is like a low percentage, it's happening more. And people don't tell you, though it's a low percentage, you could, isn't it odd that this is happening more and more often? Like people are not getting this. This is happening more and more often than what the statistics are showing. And that's what I feel like we're trying to tell people. For something that's so low, because I feel like somebody's gonna say, "Oh, this is like 2% of what's really happening." I said, "Well, this is a really high too." So, what do y'all think? Um, First of all, how many? Y'all think he's gonna do 20? Because I feel like he's got to be that sacrificial white lamb that gonna do 20. Um, I do y'all think that every cop should be evaluated? Maybe we should weed out who are the good ones and who is really like the murderers. Because I feel like there's people that do want to murder but want to do it legally. Let me know. Today, my name is Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.